Once again, hi everyone, welcome you all to my online class of software engineering. In last session, we discussed about the coding and testing. In today's video, we going to discuss the rest part of the coding and testing, that is coding review, software development, and functional versus structural testing, and what is testing. So let's start today's video. Software documentation. As we know, good documents are very useful and serve the following purposes. So the first purpose that good documentation solves is good documents enhance understandability and maintainability of a source product, helps the user in effectively using the system, helps in effectively handling the manpower turnover problem. Last one is helps the manager in effectively tracking the process of the project. Software documentation classified into the following. First one is internal documentation and second one is external documentation. Internal documentation, these are provided in the source code itself. That is, internal documentation provide itself in a source code. External documentation, these are the supporting documents that usually accompany a software product. Program testing. So before we start testing, firstly we know about one of my favorite quotes from Elizabeth Hendrickson is this: testing is not a phase. We have to stop thinking of testing as some separate activities removed from the rest of the software development. Testing a program consists of providing the programs with a set of test inputs and observing if the program behaves as expected. Or we say software testing is evaluation of the software against requirements gathered from users and system specification. Testing is conducted at the phase level in a software development life cycle or at a module level in program code. Software testing comprises of validation and verification. So the aim of testing is to identify all defects existing in a software products. Some commonly used terms associated with testings are failure. This is manifestation of an error or the defect or a bug. Test case. This is the triplet where I is the data input to the system, S is the state of the system at which the data is input, and O is the expected output of the system. Test suite. This is the set of all test cases within which a given software product is to be tested. Functional testing versus structural testing. Firstly, we know before we go for the differences, first we know what is functional testing. So the functional testing addresses the overall behavior of the program by testing transaction flows, input validation, and functional completeness. Functional testing is considered black box testing because no knowledge of the internal logic of the system is used to develop test cases. System testing, regression testing, and user acceptance testing are the types of functional testing. Structural testing. Structural testing is considered white box testing because knowledge of the internal logic of the system is used to develop test cases. Structural testing includes path testing, code coverage testing, and analysis logic testing, nested loop testing, and similar techniques. Unit testing, string or integration testing, load testing, stress testing, and performance testing are considered structural. Both methods together validate the entire system. For example, a functional test case might be taken from the documentation description of how to perform a certain function, such as accepting barcode input. So thank you. In next video we discuss the rest part of the functional testing versus the structural testing, and the black box testing and the white box testing. So thank you for today's